So the Friend of Off-Broadway Award always makes us smile because we really care about our friends. And our best friends aren't just fun to be around, although they are a lot of fun to be around. They also care about us, and they make us feel understood. You know what I'm talking about? That's why we're so happy to make a fuss over our next honoree, because nobody cares about and understands Off-Broadway more than the dedicated and erudite national theater and dance editor and the chief theater critic at Time Out New York, a great friend of Off-Broadway, Adam Feldman. Don't get up, I have more to say. Adam has been writing and editing for Time Out since 2003, and for all those years he's been a stalwart supporter of Off-Broadway. He's always been there to explore, to talk, to listen with genuine interest. That's what friends do. To write and to say what he thinks, and to spread the word about the treasures to be found in New York theater. And Adam, as I said earlier, is the longtime president of the New York Drama Critics Circle, which under his leadership has considered, attended to, and recognized the best of Off-Broadway for close to 20 years. In fact, 9 of the last 10 New York Drama Critics Circle awards for Best Play went to plays that were presented off-Broadway, and the 10th went to one that started off-Broadway and then transferred to Broadway. That one, of course, was Christopher Durang's Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike. Now, I'm not saying that Adam put the fix in for us. I'm not saying that at all. I don't believe that, and I'll deny it if anyone asks me about it. I'm just saying that he makes us feel seen. And it's nice when your friends make you feel that way. So please help me welcome, to accept our thanks, a true man of the theater and a true friend of Off-Broadway, Adam Feldman. Hey, Adam. Okay, buddy. All right, that's for you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. It is so daunting to be mentioned even in the same sentence as some of the people who have been honored already today, including Michael Feingold, who is, as a critic, was just a very hard act to follow, as he would have been the first to say, as he would have been the first to tell you, and not wrongly. That was part of his ornery charm. To be a friend of Off-Broadway, I have given, as mentioned, I have given a lot of awards in the past 25 years. I've been on many award committees, and I realized when I got the email about this, I realized this is the first award that I have received as an adult, or at least since college. It's the first award that I have received, and it does feel nice, I have to say. It's really pleasant, and there was a flash when I got this award. There was just a flash of mine that said, "Is this a trap? Are they going to bolt the doors when I get in and Julius Caesar me?" Which would not be entirely a surprise, because as all of you know, the relationship between critics and artists is not always perceived as friendly, and that is something that I fully understand as someone who writes about theater, and also as someone who's done a lot of theater and who has a lot of friends, personal friends, who are in the theater. I consider myself a person of the theater. I consider myself a friend of the theater. I understand when the theater does not always think of me as their friend, and that's par for the course in what we do. But in the past 25 years, it's become clear that some parts of the theater, even as the Broadway commercial theater has in some ways exploded in success in the 21st century, there are aspects of the theater that have found it more and more challenging, especially in commercial off-Broadway theater, as all of you know. And at the same time, there has been a similar contraction in the field of arts journalism and arts criticism in particular, as traditional legacy media venues contract. The first people to go are people writing about the arts, and people writing editorially and in an opinionated way about the arts, especially. And even when journalism remains in those areas, it tends to focus on the larger items, because that's what has the most readers. And it's harder and harder to find places for journalistic coverage of Off-Broadway, and especially for intellectually and journalistically honest coverage of Off-Broadway that isn't just boosterism as much as we all love boosterism. It's much more fun for me to be a booster, and it's the kind of review that I love writing the most. When you find someone who has not yet broken and you can help spread the good news. And so I love giving awards. I love writing positive reviews. I'm fine occasionally with not. And I think that's part of being a friend as well. There are different kinds of friends, including in the theater. There are the kinds of friends who will hug you and tell you did a great job, no matter what you've done. And that is important for people who are doing the theater. And then there's a different kind of friend who will tell you the truth, or a truth, or their truth. They'll tell you what they really think. And that can be infuriating, and it is also part of sometimes being what an old friend means. I am getting older. I'm not, but I am at the stage of my career when I'm beginning to get the kind of honorary award that says, there's the door. If there's going to be a door, it's awfully nice to have a red carpet to it, but it's still, the door is starting to be in sight. And the longer you've been friends, the longer you've been doing it together, the more, even throughout your moments of mutual antagonism, the more you feel like you're on the barricades together, the more you feel like you're facing the world on behalf of a shared love that you have, the kind of love that bonds a friendship in truth, that is a deep and abiding and passionate love for the art form that you create and that I am fortunate enough, and others like me are fortunate enough to spend a great deal of time with. I do, know we sometimes make hard demands, but as Charlie Kringa says in Merrily We Roll Along, what's the point of demands you can meet? We are there to set high bars, and you are there to meet them with, wonderful frequency. So it is a great honor, and it's very touching, truly, to be thought of as a friend of Broadway, the kind of friend, and I hope that we will be there to boost each other and disappoint each other and challenge each other for many years to come. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. That's beautiful. You're a true friend.